Jesus declares the church's foundation in Matthew 16:18, naming Peter as the rock upon which he will build his ecclesia, a Greek term meaning called out assembly. This moment near Caesarea Philippi, a region steeped in pagan worship, symbolizes Christ's triumph over false gods. The church isn't a physical structure, but a living organism rooted in confessing Jesus as Messiah. Archaeologists note this location's significance. Herod the Great built a temple to Caesar here, making Jesus' proclamation a direct challenge to imperial cults. Acts 2 records the church's explosive birth when the Holy Spirit descends at Pentecost, a Jewish harvest festival drawing diaspora Jews from 15 regions. Acts 2 verse 9-11. The tongues of fire fulfill Joel's prophecy, Joel 2:28-32, and reverse Babel's division. Historians estimate 3,000 conversions that day, forming history's first multi-ethnic congregation. This event established speaking in tongues as a sign of spirit baptism while modeling evangelism through cultural literacy. Peter quotes Joel and Psalms to connect with his Jewish audience. Acts 2 verse 42-47 reveals the early church's radical communal life. Daily temple worship combined with house-based agape feasts. Archaeological evidence from first-century Jerusalem homes shows upper rooms accommodating 40 to 50 people for such gatherings. They practiced voluntary socialism. The Greek word koinonia implies deep economic sharing, not communism. Pliny the Younger later documented Christians meeting before dawn for worship, showing continuity with Jewish prayer hours. Their joyful simplicity, v. 46, countered Greco-Roman banquet excesses. Saul's persecution, Acts 8:1-3, inadvertently fulfills Jesus' mandate to spread the gospel to the ends of the earth, Acts 1:8. Roman records show Jewish leaders had limited authority to imprison. Saul likely collaborated with Roman prefects. The dispersion followed trade routes. Phoenician ports like Caesarea became launch points for fleeing believers. Historian Tacitus notes Christianity's rapid spread to Antioch by AD 40. This persecution birthed house churches, as seen in 3rd century Dura Europos excavations showing converted homes with baptismal fonts. Philip's Samaritan mission, Acts 8:4-8, breaks 700 years of Jewish Samaritan hostility rooted in 2 Kings 17's Assyrian conquest. Samaritans worshipped at Mount Gerizim, not Jerusalem. A schism worsened when Jews burned their temple in 128 BC. Yet Philip heals and baptizes them, fulfilling Jesus' words in John 4. The delayed spirit reception, v. 16, likely prevented Samaritan believers from forming a parallel, separate church. Modern DNA studies confirm Samaritans' partial Israelite ancestry, validating their inclusion in God's covenant people. Acts 10's Cornelius episode overturns Jewish food laws, kashrut, that separated Jews from Gentiles. As a God-fearing centurion in the Italian cohort, attested in Roman military records from Caesarea, Cornelius represents the devout Gentile demographic common in synagogues. Peter's vision of unclean animals coincides with Roman ninth-hour prayers, 3 p.m., showing divine timing. The Spirit falls before baptism, a pattern for Gentile conversions, proving salvation isn't contingent on adopting Jewish customs. This directly precipitates the Jerusalem Council's ruling in Acts 15. Paul's strategy targeted urban hubs along Rome's Via Egnatia and Appian Way. In Philippi, Acts 16, he first converts Lydia, a purple dye merchant. Archaeology confirms her trade's prominence in this Macedonian city. Corinth's church met in Gaius' house, Rom 623, excavated near the city's agora. Paul's letters reveal how he adapted messaging, emphasizing resurrection to Greeks, Acts 17, while rooting theology and Torah for Jewish audiences. Papyrus fragments show his letters circulated among churches within decades, forming the New Testament core. Paul's epistles addressed specific crises. Galatians combats Judaizers insisting on circumcision, validated by Dead Sea Scrolls halakhic debates. 1 Corinthians tackles pagan sexual ethics. Archaeology reveals temple prostitution was endemic in Corinth. His letters followed Greco-Roman formal structure but subverted imperial language. Gospel, Evangelion, co-opted the term for Caesar's decrees. Early collections like Chester Beatty Papyri, AD 200, show letters were preserved despite persecution. These documents standardized Christian doctrine amid diverse interpretations. Ephesians 5:25-27's bridal imagery draws from Jewish wedding customs. brides underwent ritual cleansing before the groom's arrival. Catacomb art shows early Christians using lamps and veils in marriage symbolism. This metaphor countered pagan fertility cults while affirming marital fidelity, a radical stance in Rome where adultery was commonplace. The spotless ideal spurred early monastic movements, but also informed Calvin's doctrine of sanctification. Modern sociologists note persecuted churches often emphasize bridal purity as countercultural witness. Revelation 21's New Jerusalem culminates church history. Its 12 gates, tribes, and 12 foundations, apostles, symbolize unity. The city's dimensions, 12,000 stadia, form a perfect cube like the Holy of Holies. John's vision subverts Rome's claims. Where Caesar's city had 7 hills, God's city descends from heaven. Early Christians saw this as hope during Domitian's persecution, AD 95. Modern astrophysicists note the city's description aligns with a 1,400-mile pyramid shape, possibly representing God's cosmic dwelling beyond physics.